There are new Lay's flavors, believe it or not. If you've been looking at the shorts on this channel, you will see that I'm always going out and looking for Lay's new flavors. Here's one that I just found recently. Um, and there's also a second one, which is Lay's hot sauce, which is flavored with Frank's Red Hot Original Hot Sauce. That's a vinegar-based hot sauce, which is similar to Tabasco from Louisiana, and that one will be next. But these right here, kettle cooked cheesy buffalo. Uh, it's obviously in conjunction with NFL. It even says you could win an epic experience. Now, if you look at my video from just a couple of days ago where I tried Ugly's Buffalo Ranch, I mentioned the fact that buffalo flavor to me, such as on wings, is something that really is not very appealing. And one of the reasons is that my wife, who is a foodie, and I respect her palate and her tastes, uh, she is excellent at making Japanese food, for example. She once called buffalo wings and buffalo sauce itself as being a culinary disgrace to humanity. So she really doesn't like buffalo. And after she said that, I really had to stop and think. And over the time, I've realized that I don't care for buffalo either. It's kind of like a cheap. I'm trying not to use profanity here. It's cut. Buffalo sauce is kind of like a cheap American rendition of the abuse of a cayenne pepper, and it's really not that impressive unless you are perhaps at a chain called Buffalo Wild Wings and your friends have had 17 beers. Okay, that's when they're going to enjoy buffalo, and along with having 17 beers, that's when they're going to enjoy NFL. So this right here, I can easily see cheesy buffalo dip as being something that would be appealing to NFL fans. And who doesn't love just good old American football, right? So these just came out in the last week. The 2025 football season is here. Scan and you could win an NFL epic experience. So why don't you feel free to scan that QR code and you could win tickets to a game, autographed gear, and more. And of course, looking at the ingredients, I'm always looking at sodium. This sets in at 190 milligrams for a serving size of just 15 chips or 28 grams, which is 8% of the recommended daily allowance. Here's all of the ingredients. And let's see what they taste like. This is the newest, one of the two newest Lay's flavors. Okay, I'm getting potatoes. And I'm getting cheese. I'm getting a cheese aroma, but I can't identify what type. I'm wanting to say cheddar, and I guess that would go along with the orange coloring, as real cheddar cheese is from Cheddar, England, but American cheddar cheese, the orange color comes from a single simple ingredient, which is called annatto. In fact, I would almost guarantee that the ingredients have annatto if it's not included in coloring. Okay, sure enough, cheddar cheese. And then cheese cultures, salt enzymes, whey, garlic powder, sour cream, natural flavors, sugar, buttermilk, yeast extract, onion powder, spices, vinegar, tomato powder. I get the vinegar on the nose just a little bit, and paprika extract for color. Okay, so perhaps the paprika extract is replacing the annatto for the cheddar cheese color. So let's see what these taste like. Of the types of Lay's, just normal Lay's, the thin chips, I prefer the ridged ones for more texture. They pick up, they get more of a dip because of the actual surface area being increased by the ridges. But kettle cooked are some of my favorites when it comes to Lay's. So here's what one looks like, and let's see what this thing tastes like. Okay, there's a punch of queso. Queso is like in your face, as in melted cheese dip, based on cheddar. Garlic. There's a bunch of garlic. Vinegar is just like lingering around at the bottom of the stack of flavors. Cayenne pepper. Okay, it tastes like a dip, actually. This really does taste like a dip. I'm getting sour cream. I'm getting chives or green onions. This is better than I expected. I'm impressed with these. Um, Somehow Frito-Lay has pulled off a complexity of flavors where the flavors are layered. Here's a nice one. This is one that's got a nice fried bubble. This should have an awesome crunch to it right here. Yeah, I like these. These are really really good. And if you're going to be hanging around with the boys and the wives and watching NFL, go for it. Seriously. Uh, in order to make a dip like this, it would be a tad time consuming in order to melt the cheese. Uh, I'm getting that sour cream has been introduced into the dip. I'm getting the buffalo, and thank God it's not very powerful. The buffalo is a little bit residual. There's a hint of it on the nose. The heat does build, but there is a complexity of flavors where these actually change on my palate. Can't speak for yours because everyone's tastes are different, but the complexity of flavors is something that I absolutely was not expecting when opening this bag. So there's what's in the bag. And as far as being a unique new Lay's flavor, excuse me again. As far as being a unique new Lay's flavor, uh, I'll just give these a 10 because I like them. And I think that if you're going to be watching TV or a big game, go out and find these while they're available. They do say limited edition on them, and I'm presuming they will only be available for a short time. See right here? It's a limited time flavor. So if this sounds like something you would like, first of all, I love cheese. I'm a cheese monster. Okay, I love cheese of all types, and these do deliver because they actually taste like a queso cheese dip. Yeah, no reservations and no apologies of giving this one a 10/10. Heck yeah. Lay's limited edition kettle cooked buffalo cheesy dip. I do not like buffalo dip. My wife hates buffalo dip or buffalo flavor, buffalo hot sauce, as in on wings. I don't care for it. because I think it's a cheap thing that should have never existed. It's just cayenne pepper and vinegar, and Americans should be able to create better and more complex flavors than that. But fortunately, it's not overpowering in this. Uh, Buffalo sauce. Once again, my wife called it a culinary insult to humanity. And after she said that, I have kind of started to steer clear of buffalo sauce. But with this one, it tastes like it's queso dip. So it does deliver on the description on the bag, as if somebody had just dotted or put some drips of buffalo seasoning in the queso dip, where the sour cream is probably secondary to the cheddar cheese. That's my description, and I'm sticking with it. I better seal these things up before I eat too many. Those are awfully high in sodium. Okay, so anyway, if you like videos like this, be sure to subscribe. Thank you. There are more to come. I enjoy making them. And if you like food tasting videos, make some yourself. It's actually quite easy. All you need is a computer or a phone and some sort of camera and some sort of food that you are interested in. And it's not hard to make these videos, and I find it to be quite enjoyable. So until next time, happy food tasting, and peace out from San Francisco.